Hello and welcome to or welcome back to my channel. My name is Marin and here you will find a little beauty, a little books, and a little teaching content. So if that sounds like something you might enjoy, I would love for you to subscribe and stick around and join me in my little corner of YouTube. Today's video is going to be my next Project Pan update for 2024. So let's go ahead and get into it. Now, if this is my first Project Pan video that you are tuning into, I do want to go ahead and link you to my intro video up in the cards so you can go back and take a look at all of the items and where they first started. I did finish one item in January, so I am down to 23 items now. So let's go ahead and just roll through these as quickly as possible. So the first item is this Briogeo Blossom in Bloom Root Volumizing Powder. You can see that I have made some decent progress. I did use this 5 times in February, so I'm just going to keep working on this and hope that over the course of the next few months, this one will be done. The next item that I have is this Pacifica Vegan Silk Blowout Primer. It does look like this, and I have finally used this enough where I can mark some progress. So I did use this 7 times in February. I have been using it each time I wash my hair, give or take. Sometimes my hair needs a little bit more, so I'll use some different items, but overall this is what I was using for the most part this month, and I'm just going to keep chugging along on it and hope that I can get this done by the end of the year. The next item is this Versed Backup Plan Acne Control Body Mist. It looks like this. This is an airless pump, and I finally was able to mark some actual progress. So I did use this 7 times in February. This has moved up quite a bit. I believe when I measured it, it's like 1 centimeter, but I have started using this on my legs when I'm not shaving them, just to kind of help again with like ingrown hairs, razor burn, that kind of thing. So I'm hoping that by adding that into my usage of this, I'll see a little bit more progress over the course of a month. This was actually 2 months progress. So I'm just gonna have to see how this goes. This is a very fine mist. So because of that, you don't use a lot of it, which means it's taking a while to actually show progress. The next item is this Olive and June Heal Balm Overnight Treatment. It looks like this. Now, here is what it looked like at the start of February, and it really has not changed. Now, I have used this a total of 6 times this month, and if you look, the center is quite concaved, but the overall length of it didn't change. So I still have an inch of this left. I was able to use a full inch in January, so I'm really going to work to get this done in March. I would love for this to be finished because I don't like it. It's very messy. I talked in my last video how when you use this, it's a balm, but as you put it on, it basically turns into an oil, and it's just super messy, and I don't think it does anything. So I will be very glad when this is done because I just do not like it. The next item is this Bite Agave Plus Lip Scrub, which I only used 1 time in February. So there is 0 progress on this. It is exactly the same as it was, still full pretty much to the top. I am going to set myself a tentative goal to use this 3 times in March, just to give it a little bit more love, because I've only used it 2 times total, once in January, once in February. The next item is a little mini of this Amore Pacific Treatment Enzyme Peel. This is a powder face wash that you add water to, and then it suds up really, really nicely. I actually am quite enjoying this, but I was able to get some nice progress on this, about the same as what I used in January, because I again used it 4 times. So looking at that, I think it's going to take me 2 more months to finish this up, using it once a week, which is what I like to do with it. So this will be around at least this month and next month, but then should be done by the end of April. My next item is this Origins Original Skin Retexturizing Mask. I did use this 3 times in February. So here is the progress mark. Excuse the messiness. The red nail polish was very, very messy when I tried to mark this, but you can see it was a decent amount, not a ton. I am going to try to use this 4 times in March just to squeeze an additional use out of it. I am kind of at that whitest part right now, so I'm thinking the rest of it should go a little bit quicker once I'm past this whitest point. But I do really like this. I don't use it on my full face. I usually focus it on the lower part of my face, which is where I'm most prone to breakouts. But this is really nice and I have no problem using this. I just need to try to remember to actually use it once a week. My next item is this 10 over 10 nail polish. This is in the shade Shimmer. It is just this very easy sparkly pink. I only used this 2 times in February. I'm not really a nail polish girl, y'all, so this is a struggle. It's very pretty, very easy to apply, but there was so little progress that I have not actually made another mark because it is literally directly below that first mark. So yeah, not much progress to be seen with this, which is surprising because I did use it twice, but I am going to attempt to use this 3 times in March. I don't want to set myself a goal of using it every week. That's just not going to happen. But 3 times should be doable. I could have easily done that in February. It was just pure laziness that made me not. So yes, hopefully I will actually see some progress next month. The next item is this e.l.f. Matte Putty Primer. It looks like this. I'm going to go ahead and tip you down so you can see what it's looking like, and I will put the picture of the comparison from last month on it. I did only use this 3 times, so there's minimal progress. This one is definitely going to be around for a good long time, and honestly, I would be surprised if I actually get it done by the end of the year. It's not my favorite. I feel like it kind of sits really weird on my skin, so this one might actually be a declutter, but I'm going to go ahead and give it half a year's use to make that decision. The next item is my Becca Under Eye Brightening Corrector. I do really like this, but I did not use it very much in February. I only used it 3 times. So again, here's what it's looking like next to the picture of what it looked like at the start of the month. Not a huge difference, but that's okay, and it's to be expected when I only use it 3 times. The next item is my Too Faced Papa Don't Peach Blush. Now I did repress this at the start of the year. I did not use this at all in January, so the usage that you see, if any, because I don't really personally see any difference, is solely from the month of February. I did use it 12 times, so here's what it's looking like now and what it looked like at the start of the month. I am not going to be using this in the month of March because I want to switch back to the cream blushes in my project. So you will see this again in April, and we'll have to see if I can actually see some progress after that month. The next powder blush is from my Benefit Blush Bar palette. It is the shade Rockateur. So here is what it is looking like compared to how it looked at the start of the month. I do see quite a bit of difference. There is some pan in the middle there. It's getting quite thin. So I am very pleased with the progress I was able to get on this one. I did use it again 12 times because I tend to switch between the 2 blushes as I go through the month. So some nice progress, and I'm hopeful that I will be able to get this done sooner rather than later. Moving on to the cream blushes, as I just said, I was focused solely on the powder blushes in February, so this palette is still looking exactly the same. I did not use this at all. If you are new again, I have 4 lipsticks that I melted down to make this palette. The first one is from Laneige. It is in Cashmere Nude. The second one is Buxom's Full On Lip Color in Las Vegas, and the third is a combination of 2 Tom Ford lipsticks, Orchid Soleil and Jared. So this will be my focus for the month of March, so hopefully I will see some really nice progress. As you can see, I do have pan in 2 of the shades. I would love to expand those, and we'll see what another month's use can do. Moving on to lip products, I have one that I am very pleased with. This is the ColourPop Ultra Glossy Lip in the shade JJ. I did use this a total of 9 times in February, and y'all, the progress is fantastic for me because lip products are something I really struggle with. So looking at this, it's probably going to take me into April to finish. This should definitely be done within the next 2 months, which is very, very exciting. The next item is my Glossier CherryBalm.com, and I did use this a total of 4 times in February. Now I used red nail polish to mark this, so it's not showing up great, but It is right there. I'm trying to make sure the light hits it. So I did use a fair amount. I did only use it 4 times, so there's not a huge difference, but this is another one where I'm getting into like the thinner part of the tube, so I could easily see progress start to kind of pick up. I am going to try to use this more often in the month of March, so hopefully I will have some nice progress going into my next update. Then I have this Spoiled Child Conditioning Tinted Lip Balm, and I only used this 4 times. I did not even measure this because I know it's going to be like absolute minuscule progress, but here is the picture of what it looked like at the start of the year, and I'm fairly certain that it still is pretty much at that same exact point. Here is how much I have when I roll it out, so definitely plenty of product left. My focus right now is the lip gloss from ColourPop, so once that's done, this will start playing more of a factor in my makeup looks. I do like this. It is nicely moisturizing. It's a little bit darker than I personally like for a tinted lip balm, but it is still a nice, pretty color. I can use it for everyday looks. It's just that right now my focus is somewhere else. My next item is my Charlotte Tilbury lip pencil in Pillow Talk. I'm gonna go ahead and put the pictures on the screen right now so you can see what it was at the start of the year and where it is right now. I am definitely making some slow and steady progress on this, so I'm definitely more optimistic that this will get done. It might even get done in the first half of the year. I'll have to see how it goes, but this is something that I can use in everyday looks. It is very subtle, a nice kind of My Lip But Better color, and I'm really, really enjoying it. So I'm glad I put it in this project because otherwise it just would have sat in my cabinet and not gotten any use. Moving on to a couple of eyeshadows, I have my ColourPop Super Shock Shadow in the shade Frog. Now I only used this, at least according to my tallies, 3 times in February, which doesn't seem right. I feel like I probably missed some tallies, but the picture really hasn't changed. Again, this is a very movable product, so as you move it around, I could expand that pan really, really large. So it's still looking pretty much exactly the same. Let me put them side by side so you can see. This is a very easy shimmery topper. It goes on top of pretty much any shade and looks nice. So I'm loving getting some use out of this, but I'm definitely going to try to get a little bit more use out of it, at least tally marks wise, in March. Then I have my Urban Decay Single Shadow in the shade Foxy. I did not use this at all in February. This shade is very, very similar to one that is in my Pan That palette, so I've been focusing on that one first. That one might be panned this month, so then I will turn my attention towards this one. Can hopefully give this one some more love because I would really like to get this used up. It's been sitting in my cabinet for a while. It's just a plain kind of bisque shade. I like to use it to set my eye primer before I go in with other shadows, but again, right now, I need to finish the one in my Pan That palette before I can really start working on this one. And the final 2 items I have are perfumes. So I have one that I have not used at all so far because I'm focusing on another one. This is the Sephora collection from the Little Mermaid collab with Disney, and it is called Kiss the Girl. I have not used this at all, so the mark is exactly where it was at the start of the year because I'm wanting to finish this one first. This is the Coach Poppy Eau de Parfum. This one does have some nice progress. I used this 13 times in February. So here's what we are looking like. Looking at that, I kind of measured it out, and it's going to take me about 2 more months to finish this up. So by the end of April, this should be done, and I can turn my attention to this one. And that's it. That is all of my items from my 24 and 2024 Project Pan. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave me a thumbs up. Consider subscribing to my channel if you would like to see more from me, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, everyone.